Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious and the year 400 event is finally upon us, including a bunch of new features and major improvements compared to last year. Before we begin, I just want to say, please make sure to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out a ton. Also make sure to use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. Without any further ado though, let's get started. When you want to begin with the Raffle event, the first thing you need to do is go over to Simon, where you'll pick up your century cake. It doesn't really matter what cake you get, it can either be one of the new ones or it can be one that's already been around for a while. After you do that, you're going to head over to Resis and you're going to pick up your team. Your teams are visible in the tab menu, as you can see with the emblem. I have the blue team, there are yellow teams, red teams, green teams, and also pink. It's not really too different than last year, but it is a little bit more relevant because of things we'll go over in a bit. If I can get over to the raffle box, and excuse me if this takes a moment. If you get over to the raffle box, you can see there are 3 different types of raffles. The speed raffle, which is drawn once every 2 hours, the daily raffle, drawn once per day, and the big one drawn once at the end. The prizes are shown right here. So for the speed raffle, this one is 5 major prizes, 100 medium, and 15,000 minor. The daily raffle is 50 major, 500 medium, and 75,000 minor. The big one is drawn at the end, and it's 500 major, 5,000 medium, and 500,000 minor. And by the way, if you want to know what each of these are, you can click on the raffle and see what the prizes are. So a Devon alloy is going to be a major reward. If I go down to a pure blue dye, that is a medium reward. And if I go all the way to the end, the paint drying simulator is a minor reward. In order to actually enter the raffle and win prizes, you're going to need tickets. And in order to get tickets, the main way you do so nowadays is with these daily tasks. Many of them are very easy. Some of them include things like buying an item from an NPC, but there are also medium and hard tasks, as you can see here, and some of these are a little bit harder. Unlock an umber or tungsten frozen corpse, spawn a diamond goblin, and things like that. All of these, by the way, reward one specific raffle ticket each, so doing a hard one, for example, doesn't give you more raffle tickets, so keep that in mind. It's skewed to be easier. There's also a new thing here, where every single raffle ticket is also being given alongside a slice of cake, as you can see here. You can right-click on a player with the cake in order to feed it to them, and by doing so, this works like a gift, and you get a bunch of rewards. This is also how you get the token of the century, which allows you to upgrade your talisman into the ring. It can also give you a bunch of other stuff. People were getting like 25,000 foraging XP, some other things like that. It's a fairly strong thing, honestly, and it's giving out a lot of rewards. So players are going to be collecting these and handing them out in hubs all the time. Alongside these additions, there's also a raffle milestone section, and as you can see here, you get a bunch of rewards for participating within the event. Not only do you get things like the Talisman of the Century, but you also get a gift bag at the 200 ticket mark, and at the 400 ticket mark, you get Century the Fish. You also get a bunch of slices of cake, which are pretty cool. In terms of the possible rewards, there are quite a few new additions alongside the event. Not only can you get things like the complete Century Cake bundle to get pretty much every Century Cake that exists, but there's also stuff like the Diana's Bookshelf. While in your inventory, it counts the number of Chimera 1 books that you obtain from the mythological ritual, and if you reach 6 on the counter, you reset the item and permanently gain 1 magic find, 1 pet luck, and 1 taming wisdom. There's also a few other additions. Most notably, there's the Century Party Invitation. You can click on a player while holding the item to add their Skyblock level color to this item. If you find one of each Skyblock level color, you reset the item, permanently gain 1 social wisdom, and also gain 250,000 coins. On top of this, there's the Loudmouth Bass. You can right-click a player holding the bass to engage in a duel. The heavier your bass is, the more likely it is to win. The winning bass will consume the other and grow heavier. If your bass is consumed, you will receive some fish food and social XP as compensation, scaling with the bass weight. This is a pretty interesting little mini mechanic here. You can also get the paint drying simulator. You observe the thrilling process of paint drying to gain carpentry wisdom. Be careful not to look away, the paint demands your full attention. There's also the mysterious package. You need to correctly dispose of the item to permanently gain +1 fishing wisdom and 250,000 coins. Now, if you're asking what's the best way to grind out this raffle event and get the most tickets, in my opinion, you're going to want to do most of the easy tasks first, and that's not just a cop-out. The way I'm saying this, or the reason why I'm saying this, is because many of these are far quicker to do than some of the hard tasks, and if you're trying to prioritize time, if you only have a certain amount of time to play, getting these done is going to be very easy. You're going to get a lot of slices of cake. You can trade those pieces of cake with other players and get more rewards, and you're more likely to get stuff done. But if you do have the time and you want to go for some of the harder ones, try to do things in one step. And what I mean by that is, if you see here, I have a Slayer Apprentice one that is a tier 1 or higher Slayer boss. If I go to my next page, which is the medium tier, it is tier 3 or higher. And then if I go to the last page, there is a tier 5 or higher one, if I can actually find it. There it is. So if I kill one tier 5 Slayer boss, I'm going to get all 3 of those done. There's a bunch of other ones here for like the Crimson Isle mini bosses. Make sure you do those. Things like kill an Ender Dragon, that one's not too bad. Spawn a Glaciite Mineshaft. Some of these hard ones are also not too terrible. None of these are particularly bad, except maybe like the Special Zealot one. But overall, none of these will be too bad for your general playthrough, I guess. Although a few of these do require a bit more work as I'm looking into it. Things like climbing the podium and also the gold or higher trophy fish might be a bit tough to get done. Regardless though, if you focus on knocking out these daily easy tasks and then move on to the later ones, you'll have a lot of tickets, you'll get a lot of rewards. Overall, players are generally going to follow the gameplay loop of doing their daily tasks and then giving each other cake until they can't any longer. There is a limit to how much cake you can have in one day. I believe it's 50 slices, although I could be wrong. Overall, that's a fairly high amount of cake to eat though, so it's not that much of a big deal. By the way, I did miss an item that is the rune book, I believe. Yeah, right here. It tracks a counter for each runic mob killed while in your accessory bag or inventory. It increases its rarity and gains +1 rune crafting wisdom for each digit on the counter. So it's a max of 4 digits. It's actually a pretty good accessory, and this is a minor reward. Overall, this year's Raffle event seems to be a major step up when compared to the year 300 one. There are a lot of major improvements, new additions, and items that players are going to be going for the next week, so get out there, do your daily tasks, and earn some cake. At the end of the day though, my name's Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. And look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.